Welcome to Rockingham. It's round 6 of 2017. 3 to go after this. The AVON tyres, Golden Era Superbikes, and the Alto Digital GP1 Classics, the GP1 Freshmans as well. And they all come together on a grid to create some pretty close racing. There's Ryan Strafford, second in the Golden Era Superbike Championship. 46 points down on Richie Thornton, number 71, coming into the weekend. 36 points down on him after 2 wins yesterday. Shane Pearson on pole position leads the GP1 Classic points standings by quite a handsome amount. Doesn't look like that championship is going to change anytime soon. Martin Stanier is there, number 121 on his blue Yamaha. Currently third in the standings. He's not attended every round, but he's catching John Wright for second in the GP1 Classics as Thornton tips into Dean Hairpin as the race leader, with number 35 Pearson just behind him. Strafford is third, Stanier fourth, Chalice fifth, and then we've got Biswell. Oh, a moment there for Shane Pearson out of the saddle, out of the right-hander there at Yentwood, and Strafford pounces on him. They then tip it left into Piff Path Corner, and we'll pick them up as they head around a series of left-handers. Thornton there, Strafford, Stanier, Chalice, Biswell. Number 5 is Jamie Pearson as well. Nice to see Jamie back with us. Former Golden Era Supersport champion, and of course brother to Shane. And here comes the leading group now. Nice to see that Strafford is still keeping Thornton very honest indeed. He really wants this championship, Sid, but then so does Thornton. The pair of them at the moment don't really seem like they can be split by an awful lot.
No, ebbs and flows, doesn't it? And I think that Ryan's been really, really patient. I mean, they both have really. They've had their ups and downs. You know, I mean, Mitch's had problems and all sorts of things, really. So it's been a really good championship, and I think it will go to the wire. They both really want it. This looks like it'll be Ryan's swan song. You know, when he was in the bike, he's going to come back as a GP1 Classic next year with the looks on an R1, which seems to be the thing that everybody loves. And I must confess, when I see these GP1 Classics, these R1s, there is a stirring in my loins.
Well, that's not something that I really want to imagine for too long. But yeah, Sid, for anyone that doesn't know, used to run Jamie Hitter on an R1, very much like the ones you're looking at now, when he went on to win what was then the Bemsey Powerbike Championship in 1999. But of course these R1s now are coming out of the garages, and the GP1 Classics is the perfect championship for them. And there are a number of riders, much like Ryan Strafford, who are thinking about that class for next year. Strafford, of course, wants to win the Golden Era Superbike Championship on his way out. There is Thornton though. He leads the race after a blistering start. Stanier has now gone up into second. Strafford demoted to third on track. Now, Golden Era Superbikes, we should just point out, Sid, do not score points in the GP1 Classics.
No, they don't. I think one of the attractive things about the GP1 Classics, of course, let's remember that GP1 per se, as we invented GP1, was not around when the R1 first came out in 1998. But it's, it would have been the bike of choice, the GSX 5000. Had GP1 been around. But the lovely and attractive thing about it is that you don't necessarily have to tune those bikes. Now, for these Golden Era Superbikes to be out here and equal times, more or less, you have to say they are very equal and have been right from the get-go with this year with the GP1 Classics Golden Era Superbikes. But they have to be highly tuned. It's like 754 cylinder, 1000cc twin, to get them up to these kind of speeds, 140 to 150 brake horsepower, you need to tune the Trotters Independent trainers out of them.
Well, there may well be a number of Golden Era Superbike riders that this year do switch over to GP1 Classics next year. You can't imagine that many people opting for anything other than the R1. That's not to say, of course, that it's the only bike that can be competitive in the class.
You can actually buy Suzuki 1000 GSXR 1000 K1. You do have to have a set of throttle restrictors in it. Because obviously, when the GSXR 1000 came out, like when the R1 came out, it was another game changer. And you know, we've had things like this all the way through. The reason we've got that cut off is because at that time, when these came out, they weren't superbikes. It wasn't until later that they became superbikes. And then like the twins, like the Ducatis, go up to like 1200cc, so on and so forth. So there is an era which is perfect for these bikes. And let's not forget, at that particular time, there were thousands, tens of thousands of them sold in this country.
Yeah, they were very, very popular when the R1 came out. At the moment, no one's catching the Kawasaki here at Thornton. His start has won in this race. I don't want to give him the Comchi curse, but he's out there ahead of the two R1s. Yeah, when the R1s first came out, they were not used as superbikes at all. It wasn't until a couple of years later, like you say, Sid, they used to use the R7. That's what was developed from the...
Well, that was the idea, because the R7 was supposed to be 750, but some people did put a choice in 1000cc R1 engine in those particular numbers. There's one for sale right here. It's on eBay for 26 grand at the moment, which is lovely. I don't know if Mum will let me put that in a glass case in the lounge, but probably not.
Probably not. There is a Suzuki GSXR 750 K1 on the grid here. John Wright, of course, uses it. In fact, there's a couple out there. Your old Suzuki GSXR 750 is being used by Andy Chalice. There he is, number 20. We've been singing his praises all year because he really is coming on round by round. These are the two guys battling it out for GP1 freshman victory. Now these guys, Sid, are GP1 riders on modern GP1 bikes, but of course they certainly don't have the experience, should we say, of these guys at the sharp end. They've got their rubbish bibs.
They're freshmen, yeah. And there's room on the grid at this particular point in time. And they fit in there nicely. And okay, there would have been room on the grid in this particular round, but on the normal GP1 grid, the sportsman and the elite, generally there wouldn't be room. And it might scare the farmers.
Well, these are the two guys battling it out for the victory there. 775 is Rob Smith on his BMW. He leads the championship, and second in that scrap there, number 55, Kurt Powell. Looking further back through the field there, you can see the likes of John Wright, who we were just talking about, actually, number 114. But this is the scrap here for second on circuit. Martin Stanier ahead of Strafford and Chalice. Sorry, it's the battle for third because Pearson has gone past those guys and is starting gradually to reel in. Richie Thornton at the front. I'll remind you that they are not fighting for championship position. And they don't score points in each other's classes, so it's more about pride than anything else. Richie Thornton's only concern is finishing ahead of Ryan Strafford. There is number 40, Michael Gover, on a GP1 Classic bike ahead of John Wright. Here is Thornton then, Golden Era Superbike race leader, ahead of that number 35 Pearson. Once Pearson gets some heat into those tyres, he starts to reel in Thornton. So let's see what he can do here on the final lap. Good reply this from Richie Thornton, Sid. With Strafford winning 2 races yesterday, just when you thought maybe there might be a momentum shift, Thornton just reminds everyone what he's all about.
Yeah, exactly. You just don't know. It could be something as stupid as today, putting on a new grid tyre. It's just, I know it sounds ridiculous, but that could be that simple. Particularly new tyres are not going to do
times yesterday. 28s in race 1, 27.8. He's certainly found some more time this morning. Ryan maybe not quite as quick in this first race today as he was yesterday. Shane Pearson here then, he's found his way all the way up to Thornton, and despite the fact that, as I mentioned before, they're not fighting for championship position, Thornton here rather reluctant to allow Shane Pearson past, and they're side by side now then, the ZX R7 and Pearson there as well, and they're pushing it, aren't they? Despite the fact that it doesn't really matter, it obviously does to them. Onto the start-finish straight we go, and the checker flag is out, and Thornton's going to like that one. On track, not only does he win the Golden Era Superbike race, but he wins it outright as well, ahead of Shane Pearson, who will still pick up 25 points in the GP1 Classics. Rob Smith has gone across the line as the freshman winner. We'll see those guys on the podium in just a few seconds. So Richie Thornton it is then, with a race win, and the gap goes back to 41 now between Thornton and Strafford. Strafford finishing 4th on circuit, just behind Stanier, 2nd in his class. Chalice was 5th, Rob Smith, as you can see there, in 6th place. So there we have Richie Thornton, Strafford and Chalice in Golden Era Superbike. Shane Pearson, Martin Stanier and Jamie Pearson in the GP1 Classics, and in the freshman Rob Smith, Kurt Powell and Ryan Ledbetter. We'll be back with race 2 in just a few. So here we go then, race 2 for Golden Era Superbike, GP1 Classics and the GP1 Freshman. Front row, Pearson, Strafford, Stanier, and what you might be able to see here is there's a little bit of a glare on the tyres. It's because we've had a rather large dumping of rain between the two races. The sun is out, but it's definitely wet weather, and definitely wets are the choice, as you'll see in a moment with the spray that's about to be kicked up. So will this change the dynamics of the result? You're about to find out. Thornton in Golden Era Superbikes has a 41-point lead over Ryan Strafford. Pearson, of course, looking for another win in the GP1 Classics. And Mark Biswell, that is, coming around the outside of everyone through into turn 1. Number 1 he's got on his bike, of course. He was last year's steel frame Golden Era Supersport champion. Steel Sport, shall we say. And he's gone right through to the front here as well. He just dangles a foot out, but he's out there on that Triumph 955, and what a brilliant start it was for Mark.
He ain't scared, is he? Well, go on, Mark. No, these kind of weather conditions, Mark won't mind at all. While the others are pussyfooting around, he might just get the march on. Because at the end of the last lap of the GP1 race, we brought it to a halt. It absolutely leathered down in biblical proportions. Then the next lot, who were the pre-nationals, got sent away to change, but the sun came out and has been burning through that pre-nationals and Thunder race. As you can see, it really hasn't dried out, and it tells me that the track's temperature can't be that warm, because normally under those conditions you'd see it steaming, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would, 100%. It's the weather here looking rather interesting. I have to say, we'll have to have another look at the back end there of Andy Challis's bike, but for a moment it looked like he might have opted for something other than a wet, but I'll have another look in a moment. As they chuck it down into the chicane, you can certainly see the weather here. Ryan Strafford has just fallen back a couple of places. There's a GP1 freshman rider up ahead of number 37, which is Vince Carlton as well. But it's the front of this one now. Shane Pearson, number 35, GP1 Classic. Golden Era Superbike riders then Biswell and Challis. So looks like these guys are going to have a proper scrap here for the Golden Era Superbike victory. Richie Thornton has fallen back a few places as well. So maybe Thornton just thinking at the moment, I've got a handy championship lead here, but it's not a lot, and it could soon disappear if I throw it down the road.
It's fair play, isn't it? You know, you don't want to take a box of bits home. This is the last race of the weekend. I'll tell you what though, Steve, if Andy Challis has got a dry on the back of that, be it a slick or a normal dreaded tyre, and I'm doing well.
Yeah, maybe it is a wet. I'll have to have a look. It must be, mustn't it?
I mean, he wouldn't be able to keep up with these boys.
No.
These two, I mean, Mark and Shane aren't hanging about there.
Challis is going well, enjoying himself in this race. Likewise, Biswell, an opportunity for the pair of them to get a victory in the class. In terms of Golden Era Superbike points, both Biswell and Challis, funnily enough, are looking like they're going to be locking horns from now until the end of the year for their third place trophy in the Golden Era Superbikes. Neither really can catch Thornton and Strafford, and there's only one space left.
It's nice to see Martin Stanier there as well. He's come back and he's quietly goes about his business, doesn't he? I mean, because of the way the classes come on the podium, I see him all the time coming up, you know, for a podium slot. He just obviously the cameras keep up with the front guys, which, you know, in the fourth spot, which is kind of where he is. You hardly see him on screen, do you?
He's a quiet guy, is Martin Stanier, but once that lid goes down...
His bike is beautiful. That R1 is lovely.
Yeah, he used to be a quiet candidate. I remember when we used to interview him after Street Fighter wins, he used to just say it quite clearly, yeah, great race, like to thank the family, and blah, blah, blah. Cheers, Steve, and that was it. He'd be gone.
Most racers don't actually like interviews, that's why I stopped doing it. It's murder trying to get anything out of them.
Well, some are quiet, some don't like it, and then you had others that turned up with an essay, and it took up way too much time.
Johnny Towers likes to talk, as it happens.
Well, can you remember back in the day, we had Brad Peary who could tell a tale. Will Hodgson started it off with bringing a piece of paper with a list of people to thank, and that was it. It was like an Oscar acceptance speech by the time we finished. But anyway, this is the story of the race so far. The rain coming down. There's Brad Davey with number 19 just behind him there, Paul Stonebanks on the Ducati of Brad Davey there, then up ahead of that group. But at the front it's Pearson from Biswell. Andy Challis is just struggling now to stay with them. On to the start-finish straight we go. Pearson will have a chance by the time we get over to Anglesey.
Lovely colour, that blue.
It's not bad, Sid, yeah? It's alright.
Honestly.
I'm not going to get overexcited about it, but...
It's unusual, I thought, for a bike.
Isn't that the traditional blue for Yamaha that they used to run?
Yes.
I believe we've got a set of R6 fairings in that colour up in the loft.
I
Oh,
sold
no?
them 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I'll tell you what. Give Sid a sniff of money and that's it.
I've only kept them 15 years, 16 years, waiting for someone to come along and buy them.
This is interesting, a bit further back through the pack. There's Ryan Strafford with Vince Carlton just behind him, and then Richie Thornton. So the two championship protagonists in the Golden Era Superbike Championship there. And Vince Carlton being in between them won't really be a problem because he doesn't score Golden Era Superbike points. But if Stratford finishes ahead of Thornton here, it would just give him a little bit of hope going into Anglesey, our next round. In terms of the championship standings overall, I think as it stands it would go down to 38 points between them, with of course quite a few races still left to go.
Yellow flag there, Steve.
Someone's got down the road, that's for sure. Not sure who, but we've lost someone. These are your race leaders, Shane Pearson, Mark Biswell, leading in their separate classes. Further back here is Martin Stanier. Just tiptoeing around at the moment. It just gives you an idea as to how tricky these conditions are. So, as we get to the closing stages, a quick roundup. We've got Pearson and Biswell on your screens here, first and second on circuit, then Chalice following a bit further behind, Stanier, who we just saw. Then it's that battle between Stratford, Carlton and Thornton. In terms of the freshman, Robert Smith is leading again ahead of Kurt Powell, but we've lost Ryan Ledbetter from this race. He's gone missing, so we only have 2 freshmen left in the field. High attrition rate in general here at Rockingham this weekend across all classes. Mark Biswell's not giving this one up. Needs to stretch himself to catch Shane Pearson, but
I'd imagine they'll be worrying about their wets on these dry areas here now, you know. Probably want to be running through some wet patches just to keep them down cool.
tipping it into Brook Chicane then. There you see Thornton just behind Stratford. Vince Carlton has got himself up ahead of the pair of them. So Thornton here, what does he do? Does he just sit there and accept the fact that he's going to lose 3 points in the championship to Stratford? Or does he have a bite?
It's hard to say. I mean, I don't know. I'm not in his mindset. Rather than risk it for a Swiss kid, I think that he would probably prefer to sit there. I don't know. And then if an opportunity presents itself, like Ryan went wide or something, you see those dips. There's like loads of water sitting in there, and underneath the surface of the tarmac.
It's amazing, isn't it? How half of the circuit there looks completely bone dry, and the other half looks wet. Stratford chucks it in, Chalice there chucks it into Yentwood, and that's the gap he's got over Stratford and Thornton. Thornton on the yellow bike, he is going to have a go, you know, he is going to have a go, and up the inside of Ryan Stratford he goes. Syd's tried to enter the mind of Richie Thornton and has called it wrong. Thornton wants it, and now this is getting a bit personal. These two fighting for championship, they both want the points, and they know exactly who it is that's next to them. This is going all the way to the line, this battle between Stratford and Thornton. Meanwhile, Pearson here is going to be home and dry as he exits Tarzan and heads round to complete another lap. There is Stratford with Thornton up next to him, Carlton as well. Carlton's fallen behind them, so I don't know if he's made a mistake. Rob Smith's in there as well, the freshman race leader, as they make their way up towards Tarzan now. Is Thornton going to have a look up the inside? No, not quite. He'll have just a couple more chances, Thornton. As the last lap flag is being prepared, so it's now or never. Across the line goes Shane Pearson. It's going to be 4 out of 4 for him in the GP1 Classics. Such tricky conditions these. Not really sure exactly how hard to push. Dry patches, wet patches. The tyres have lasted okay though, and he's managed to see off the interests of Mark Biswell, who in the early stages anyway was a bit of a threat.
I'll wait for the judgment on what the tyres look like when they come into Parc Fermé.
Well,
because to be fair, they the 600 ones looked like they'd worked quite hard, and it was nowhere near as dry as this.
Let's see how much life's in Richie Thornton's tyre, because on this final lap now, you can see that he is actively going for this. He has got target lock on for Ryan Strafford up ahead of him. Somewhere he's going to make a move. You have to believe that. Pearson's just got a couple of corners left, and their victory will be secure. Then it's Biswell, Chalice, Stanier, and the battle that we're all interested in between Strafford and Thornton. Here comes the race leader, Biswell just in the background there. Checkered flag is out, and it will be another win in the GP1 Classics for Pearson, who can get this all wrapped up next time out at Anglesey. Good win. Second across the line is going to be Biswell. He takes 25 points in the Golden Era Superbike class, so well done to him. And third across the line on circuit is Andy Chalice. So second for him in class. Confirmation of the results then: Pearson the winner from Biswell, Chalice, Stanier, Strafford and Vince Carlton. Now on to the three podiums. Top three then in the Golden Era Superbikes there: Mark Biswell from Andy Chalice and Ryan Strafford. In the GP1 Classics, it's Shane Pearson there from Stanier and Vince Carlton. And just the two finishes in the freshman GP1 class, Robinson Powell. Onto the championship standings. We see there Richie Thornton is in fact 37 points clear overall. So my maths are wrong. Ahead of Ryan Strafford. Biswell there in third. Chalice in fourth. In GP1 Classics, Shane Pearson, confirmation that he can get it wrapped up if the results go his way at Anglesey next month as well. That's it from us here at Rockingham then, round 6, done and dusted with Thundersport GB. We'll be back next time at Anglesey.